like a while.
What happened?
Like the broadcast just stopped. Network error.
Oh, stream crash? Nice. Okay.
Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back, back.
Guess who's back,
Back again.
Back again. Yeah.
Shady's back. Tell a friend.
Yeah, so I spent like about 2 hours trying to get with my girlfriend because I decided to name my orifices in this after her.
Aww.
Because, you know, I also like got the wedding ring accessory for both characters, for my character and hers. Yeah, but yeah.
Wait, did
So
it not die?
I sat here like the longest time trying to remember because I remember like the correlation I used to try and remember her favorite color is like opposites. So I couldn't remember if her favorite color was purple or yellow for like the longest time. Eventually, I just combined the two in a design.
I mean, that works.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's a lot of headshots they have lined up there. Nope.
You should have seen me like yesterday when I was like trying to hunt a seagull. I was having trouble, so I was just hitting like every single bird, well, almost every bird I could find, and I had just on my map just a bunch of paw prints. Mystic! Mystic, 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 mystic. Spirit's happy to see you too.
Okay, so who all do we have in the chat? I meant this chat, not the comments.
Honestly, I hope Spirit behaves better. Like the last time I
Oh, that's a lovely horse.
Oh crap! Oh no! Oh crap! Oh no! Oh crap! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
That's a sniper there, too. There are so many snipers.
And no, he's still as bad as he was before.
In the last video, I did ask for invite, but
what is he doing?
Time.
He rears
Twitch or something.
He rears up too fast.
About the horse.
Yeah, the horse.
Well, you named him Spirit, as in the horse of the Cimarron, the one who never broke.
Well, yeah, but I didn't expect them to make him so like the actual Spirit.
They probably have a code in it just to mess with people.
But he is a fast horse.
Yeah, if you name a specific horse... Little words!
I can't English.
Kind of horse. I can't language. I'm trying Japanese even, I can't do
it. I have no idea how that's...
So much faster than we did that last time.
The thing is with Spirit, though, like, this Spirit is different. Because the Spirit that we all know did not have tufts of fur on his hooves. And I think his legs were a bit thinner.
Making it more of a Clydesdale design?
Yeah, that's what they did in this, kind of. I mean, this horse is still considered a Mustang.
I mean, Mustang just means a wild horse.
That's white, but not albino. It's just a defined
or a Ford.
I think he's actually categorized as a Mustang. I think that's his actual breed in this. Let me see.
I wonder if they just couldn't get it close enough, otherwise DreamWorks would sue.
Yeah, he's a Mustang with a buckskin coat.
Well, then you should have named him Roy.
He's malnourished. What? I feed my horsey.
But do you feed that one regularly, or are you usually using a different horse?
I'm usually using Limestone or Guapo.
I'm just running around with a green lightsaber right now, like I am a freaking Jedi. Fight me! I am a Jedi using samurai arts. Which is actually canon, because most of the fighting style for the Jedi is based off of samurai combat styles.
Oh, I came upon somebody's camp. I had to deal with like a really big, like 2 big jerks last night because I came across a freaking legendary cougar, and I was going for it, and then they kill it, and then they try to take it, and we have this whole fight, and they even baited me. They placed it down, and then when I went to pick it up, they threw a fire bottle at me.
Yep.
And then I called them like...
It's called a Molotov. It's called a Molotov.
Right
Actually, it's called a
CHILLIN.
fire bottle in the game.
Well, everyone else.
And then
Besides the two guys who decided to name everything in that game.
And then I called them
Call it a
griefers,
Molotov.
and they started chasing me. And that's true. Oh.
They tried to report you for harassment.
No, they tried to chase me and kill me. But with Limestone, she's a fast horse, so they can't really get me. So I'm just like, ha, in your face.
I snagged him. Yeah.
But I hate people like that. And I actually got a legendary boar.
Pokemon?
No, a legendary boar. And I actually had help from that, and this person was nice enough not to shoot me and take it for themselves.
Yeah, you really find all kinds in Red Dead.
But the problem is I wasn't able to thank them because they ran away while I was skinning it. And I just like, wait, I want to thank you!
The unsung heroes.
So I ended up selling it to Gus, and now I've got a garment that I can buy for like a frickin' warthog. But I want to keep my elk
sweet,
one.
merciful Jesus.
And I made the biggest mistake when I killed a legendary coyote. I should have skinned it, and I didn't skin it.
If you want to send invite, feel free. I did some work on the net router.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh.
Kitty toe.
Okay, so I'll go 1 sec. Someone! Like, oh my god!
Oh, who'd you add?
But like you guys just saw with that player that just kind of like passed by, like, those are the kind of players that I like. The players that, like, they just greet you and then they move on. Those are the good players in Red Dead.
They're few and far between, and most smell like ass.
And there goes those deer. Oh, can't kill those.
There goes my life.
Yeah, they got Spirit right, alright. With Limestone, it takes a bit before, like, she actually bucks me off. And that's, like, she'll almost she'll almost immediately buck me off when there's a grizzly nearby. But that's with every horse.
She's telling you to get the buck off.
Every horse is gonna buck you if there's a grizzly. They're one of the most dangerous carnivores in the game.
But aren't they also, like, in real life, not, like, hostile unless you do something to piss them off?
I actually do not know.
Like, I think, like, black bears or brown bears, one of the two, is, like, far more aggressive than a grizzly.
That's funny because the black bears in this game run away from you.
What animal?
Okay, so it's the brown bear.
Grizzlies. Grizzly.
No, I meant the brown bear is the one I was thinking of.
Oh,
I was trying to figure out which one I was thinking of.
I was talking to Mystic. Grizzlies are really aggressive in this game, but we don't know if they're really aggressive in real life.
I remember, like, on, I think, Animal Planet or something, they'd said that, like, while grizzlies are, like, the most known for their power and one of the strongest types of bear, they are also one of the most docile.
They got it all mixed up in Red Dead then. They got the freaking grizzlies that are hostile and the black bears that are docile. And they want to run.
Well, they need provoking.
Oh, there's so many bullet lines.
I mean, like, maybe it's because I'm in, like, the grizzlies' territory. That's why it attacks.
Yeah, they are territorial creatures. That makes sense.
I killed a rabbit.
Are you familiar with black mages from Final Fantasy?
I am. I mean, I know what they look like.
I'd never realized what I could have done, but I decided to do it. With the remaining bit of pearls I had for, like, the in-game store for Black Desert, I bought some dye and basically dyed my robes to look like a black mage robes. So I got like blue robes, green pants, and a yellow
Pretty much every mage at some point wears black robes just to try and
No,
intimidate.
blue robes. Blue robes. Black mage, the common color
Well,
for
the
black
thing is,
mages
black
is
bears
blue
can
robes.
have brown coats, so
Even they're
that's
called black
important
mages
too.
because they
But
deal
bears
with black
tend to be
magic,
very
which is like-
territorial.
Yeah, which really raises the
like
question of why the
animalogically.
misbranding of the color.
Right. That's probably
Because
why
it
you get
gets-
attacked by grizzlies. It's just territory.
You know why? Because it's fashionable. That's why. Now, fuck you.
It's like fashionable, like, oh my god.
Well, that's what everyone thought about purple when the Phoenicians were the only ones who could make it.
I mean, originally that's what my color of my robes were. Originally, they were purple and
Yeah.
like. Same
Well, I
with
mean,
that.
given the fact that your whole character is red and blue, that makes sense.
I'm not
I
red
am
and blue.
I am
That's
so
not
close
all-
to getting 25 gold and being
This
able to
is
open
Black
up my
Desert.
moonshine shack.
My character. This isn't. I'm not playing as my OC, and this is. Never mind.
Oh my god. Sword! When in doubt, sword. If there's still doubt, then get the rocket launcher.
Got it.
That is how I play with guns and swords and stuff. It's like, okay, if the gun doesn't work, use the sword. If the sword doesn't work, get a rocket launcher and hope they don't move.
You really like JRPGs and what, right?
RPG.
JRPGs.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
I'm also into Halo.
Is that an
How
yes
you
or no?
feeling anyway,
Haiku?
Haiku? Sorry, I haven't.
Sorry.
met
Well, I
you
mean,
in
she
a
has
while.
played a few on her channel before.
All right. Well,
Look
I
through her
think
I've been
videos,
a
and you guys will
little
find
meh,
those. If you want to
Mystic,
see more,
just meh.
let her know in the comments.
if you really like these anime-esque RPGs, I think you might like the Trails of Cold Steel series.
I don't know.
He plays a lot of that. It's almost like a new religion.
No, no. You only say that because that's the game I've been recently playing. It's like, what, 3 days? Yeah, 3 days.
Hey,
much
every time I
love.
looked at you, it's Trails of Blue Steel.
I
And then
need
occasionally
love.
you were
I need
also
love.
playing Skyrim.
Okay,
If,
so
if
just
that's a religion for Jed, then Red Dead is a religion for me because that's what all I've been playing. Like,
So
I've hardly
you're-
been playing any Genshin Impact.
so let me
Yeah,
get straight.
like, I mean, you remember that whole talk we had about do we need to have an intervention with you in Red Dead? You're not helping your case.
Let me get this straight. Just because I suddenly start playing a new game for 3 days straight because I wanted to try something else. I
It was
become
freaking
obsessed.
like a month, and then you keep talking about it, keep talking about it. It's like me and the PlayStation. It's like, have you heard about our Lord and Savior, Trails of Cold
I
Steel?
love you so much, Tom. I give you
haven't
nuns
even
and
been
snugs,
talking
lol.
Yay.
I haven't even talked with you. Are
Like,
you
me
stupid?
specifically, no, you were talking with other people in the chat because I'd already said that I probably wasn't going to spend that much because I'd just been fired.
Yes.
And if Red Dead is your
Hey, you're
religion,
stupid.
Little Nightmares is mine XDD.
Well,
Oh yeah, how is Little Nightmares, Mystic? I
I've
know you
seen
played like the,
clips.
yeah, Mystic played like the second one, and then I guess like you're playing the first one now, right, Mystic?
Ooh, out of order.
It just looks so creepy though.
Oh, it's so
They
good.
said it was the boss area. I'm concerned that there's not a boss, but there is a save point.
I have Mystic. I have a feeling you would like the game Fatal
I
Frame.
played both and I got to achieve and run the first.
I feel like they'd probably, I feel like Mystic would
Here's
probably
why
like
I am unable to join
Alien
your game
Isolation.
session. Kinda the obvious. ... You're remarked as offline.
No, that's a missile. That's a missile.
Wait, you're playing Red Dead, right, Salgo? Wait, you're in the party, aren't you? Yeah, you're in the. You should be able to join my session even if I'm appeared as offline. You just go, like, left click on
Yeah,
the
you just
D-pad,
gotta go in and hit
players,
join friends.
and
or
then you go to
hit-
friends. And then you click on their name and you can join the session.
Alright, the other two are swords, so. Sorting!
I seriously don't know why I didn't do this the first time around. dyeing my outfit to look like a black mage. Well, I'm gonna say blue mage. That's a totally different class.
Yo, here's something funny. Like, okay, what role do you think I have the highest rank in Red Dead?
Probably hunter.
There is no hunter role. You got bounty hunter.
Feels like something that should be there.
Okay, you got bounty hunter, trader, moonshiner, naturalist,
trader,
and the collector.
Trader.
Incorrect. And considering I don't have the naturalist or moonshiner rank yet, that doesn't. Neither of those count.
Yeah, it was a 50-50.
No, actually, my collector role is the highest. I'm almost at the max level. Thank you, online map that shows me where the collectible items are.
Oh, you're using Kotaku?
No, it's not Kotaku. It's an actual Red Dead online map. It'll show you like different things, like with whatever you want to see. Where collectibles are, where legendary animals can be, but I think that's only if you've got the naturalist rank, you know. So it's quite rare to appear to somebody who does not have the rank. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Easy, easy, easy. Oh, right in the head. Oh.
So you guys want to know what's like my #1 complaint with the Sword Online games?
What?
The fact that Yuki somehow got healed of AIDS. Something that does not actually have a cure. Like, seriously.
Well, the only person I really care about in Sword Art Online is Straya.
Yeah, you know she's basically just Yui, but sexualized.
and she's only in the games.
Hammer.
I want to see her in the anime.
Oh, the anime's over.
Oh, it's over?
Well, until Reki finally makes the next part of the frickin' story, but that's not gonna happen. He's too busy trying to fix Aincrad. You know, the one part of the anime that was the least broken besides Alicization.
Did you just say Minecraft?
I said Aincrad.
Minecraft.
Aincrad. Aincrad.
Minecraft.
Aincrad.
Minecraft.
I will hack your PSN.
Terraria.
Okay, now you're asking for death.
Maybe I should loot this house.
Minecraft.
Haiku, can I stab him?
No, you cannot.
Please?
No.
Well, you gotta be mad.
Only we have to know.
I forbid it.
Hey man, why you gotta be mad? He's...
Oh, my stepdad donated to my stream XDD. He thinks I'm funny. I got like 3-0 from my last stream. I died a lot though.
Well, that's great, Mystic.
What happened?
Mystic got $30 from her stepdad her last stream.
Oh, cool. The one who keeps buying her all the games?
What?
So he's funding the channel. I mean, that's really cool that he's willing to do that.
Yeah.
He goes out of his way to do that. That's really cool.
It's a cool stepdad.
Yeah.
Ah! I ran into a rock.
Although if we were in like a Hallmark movie or something, there'd be some dark secret as to why.
God damn it. If this was a Hallmark movie, we'd have an independent woman who falls for the next rich man recently. She sees.
She said that he's bought her like 4 games recently.
Yeah.
Somebody's spoiled.
You talked about that on Twitter. I've seen that on your Twitter.
Inside Limbo Misfortune. I lost count.
That I haven't really continued, and that's Among the Sleep. As old Among the Sleep, where you're a baby. And it's like one of those like kind of horror games, but not a really big horror game.
So what is it?
Like
a horror game?
It's like a scary game. How about that?
It's a spooky game.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is my game forgetting that every time you go to a new freaking area, every bad guy in that new area is twice your level, so you have to continue to grind everything below you. It's like, let's just go immediately over off into this new place and start killing things. It's like, have you ever played a sword art game? Have you ever done one of these? There is a 5-hour grind fest just to face the first 10 enemies by the portal.
Like aka psychological and environmental horror, so yeah, I'm a bit spoiled.
Like, my second biggest issue with Sword Art Online
I want to be
just
a part of your family, Mystic.
What? Why? What else does he do?
She's just got a great family.
Yeah.
She's got a great stepdad. I want her stepdad.
I might be corny, but can I still
I
be
was
adopted?
very, very tempted to make that
He
into a
also
bad joke.
apparently got me something.
if you
from
would,
By bad, I mean
coming
dirty.
in the mail, like near the end of the
Let
month.
me do that.
Your punishment is shall be Brazil.
Ooh. Brazil.
Brazil.
That's a punishment.
You're going to Brazil.
Let me take you to Rio.
Rio, fly on the ocean like an eagle, and we can chill in like a zebo,
Last night I was
Nah.
went. How
Now
did
that
you
you
know I
mentioned that
got
movie, I
nothing?
just
I got you
remembered what I
nothing.
told Marcus, and the fact that the second movie literally made the second movie literally made the plot of the first movie pointless.
Yeah, it did.
What do you mean? How so?
You know, so you know how in the first movie the first and major goal was to repopulate the blue macaw population,
Right.
you know? Second movie, oh no, they weren't near extinction, they were all just in hiding.
They were select.
I thought the second one was good.
No, the second one was good, it just made the first movie's plot just kinda...
It made the premise pointless.
Yeah. You see what I'm talking about, Haiku?
Okay, I can get that, but it's still good. And they had freaking Kristen Chenoweth in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like trying to stop all of the Terminators in the first movie, just for in the second movie, like.
I can only
And then the
guess
second
who
and
got
third
me the
movie,
raincoat I
it's
was
confirmed
looking
that
at for my
you can't
6th
do anything.
cosplay.
They're just gonna keep happening.
Ooh.
And then in Dark Fate, where they just changed the branding.
Oops, I didn't mean to
kind
do
of
that.
find it cliche with the whole, like, father trying to get approval of girlfriend's dad shit kind of thing.
I mean, it works in sitcoms, but if that's your whole friggin' movie,
Houston,
new
we have
movie.
a problem.
I did
Also-
really like the kids.
Oh yeah, the kids were great.
Well, like the kid arc when the kid was trying to find like these different animals that could sing.
Yeah.
I liked that part, and I liked, of course, Jermaine Clement as the villain.
Nigel
Chop.
got a little shoehorned in.
But
Just saying.
I love Jermaine Clement. Like no matter what he does, he's an amazing
But I will make
actor.
That's Nigel, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
and he was
actual-
also Tamatoa in Moana.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I
shiny.
freaked. Yeah, I freaked when I heard his voice. I was just like, wait, what? What is that? Is that who I think it is? I was just
that
freaking
Nigel?
out.
a few things real quick. One, despite what I said, the first movie though was really good. Like they made it. Like I want to say they did Rio culture well or whatever. I don't know. I mean, it had a really
Brazilian culture, I think.
Yeah, but
there is
like,
one thing I had like a problem with in the first movie. Okay, so you would think that the main woman, the one who takes care of Blue, would because of how much she loves Blue, you think that she would be like maybe against eating like bird, like any kind of bird meat. But no, it shows her eating chicken hearts.
Haiku, mind if I join in?
Well, I mean, like it's not macaw, it's a commodity of really stupid bird.
Also, I was gonna say, despite Nigel being a cockatoo are actually very sweet, especially if they're like domesticated. They're like literally dogs and birds. They run on dogs' software.
And you can teach them how to say bad words.
I just hope that doesn't mean that if I get a cockatoo, it's gonna start sniffing my butt.
I like how when they like bob their heads, their little feather furls just kind of go up. Like,
Here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is like cockatoos, they love attention.
I see the ceiling.
Cockatoos also love to snuggle.
You know, I can actually confirm that because like my grandpa and I were at this pet shop once that's gone out of business now, but there was a cockatoo there, okay, and she was allowed, you know, out of her cage. So she was like, she was on. It was one of those cages that had like a place where she could like play on top of it.
Yeah.
Well, every time either of us got close to the cage, she kind of moved closer to us. She's like she wanted to get on our shoulder.
Yeah, cockatoos.
It was just so cute.
Very precious. Cockatoos are very precious creatures. Have you seen the video of the one just walking down the sidewalk barking like an actual dog?
I don't think so. I don't.
Yes, yes, sir. My bird is a little broken. No, he's not. He's just bilingual.
Sir, I believe your bird is retarded. That was just special.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a. Oh, I was gonna say one more thing.
Just curious, real quick. Have you already ordered the cosplay?
I have.
Convention?
I have.
Okay, awesome.
What convention again?
Do you know when it's supposed to arrive?
I'd have to check again.
I want a cockatoo and I want to name him Elvis.
An Elvis cockatoo.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You know why Elvis, right?
I'm trying not to.
Because of the head furl.
No.
Yeah. In fact, I saw a video where a guy was playing singing an Elvis song for two of his cockatoos. One of them was sort of what? While the other one was literally just going all out and dancing to it. It was the most precious thing ever.
I heard a birdie. I heard a birdie I want to shoot.
It's interesting that you're doing a stream all about birds in a game when I literally just got done watching the newest game theory about birds, about bird Pokemon.
Well, it's not. It's not just about birds. It's
about
we're just
Charizard
talking.
Too.
We're just talking about it.
It's the flying Pokemon, but he spends like 12 minutes out of the 15-minute video talking about birds. Okay.
Looks like this.
Bird and a bird.
Oh, bird. A bird is a word. A well, a bird. Well, a bird is a word. A well, a bird. Bird is a word.
Looks like the stream is just for the birds.
Ooh, that's a good.
That was a bad plan.
Come here, you. Bam! Yes!
Wham! Bam! Shang-a-lang! I am not apologizing.
Alright, let's see. Aw, dang it went down in quality. Oh, Mystic, afraid of birds.
Every YouTuber who has ever looked at their videos.
Hey, Haiku. Do you plan on watching the anime Uzaki-chan?
I've already watched the first episode, but like, you know, it's basically all that Funimation will allow me to watch without a subscription. So I've got to like go over to.
You don't. Yeah, and
I've got to go to the Kiss Anime app.
Oh, Kiss Anime got killed, don't you remember?
No, not the app. Not the app.
How did the app survive?
I don't know, but I've got the app.
There's also the website kickassanime.rs.
Oh, hey, I've used that before. I've used that before. It was...
look that website up.
It got blocked on my school.
That website is like the best website I have seen in a long time for watching anime, because it has like everything on it. Both the sub and dub versions of pretty much every anime. And like it updates every single day to show you this is what's new today.
I've also been watching like the dub of Monster Girl Doctor. Since I already watched the sub, I'm now watching the dub.
Yes.
And I'm actually not afraid of the Spider Girl in there. I'm actually intrigued by her design. For once.
Is it the same as Ragnar or no?
No, this character, she's got a bit more meat on the legs. Her legs are a bit more thick and a bit more hairy.
Yeah.
And plus, it's with 2D and 3D like animation combined, which is really cool.
And she's also got 6 arms.
Yeah, that was way different from Ragnia.
She got 2 limbs cut off?
That was the weirdest part for me. That was the part that part that I had to get used to.
Well, judging by what she does, by what she does for a living, like she's a seamstress, so it makes sense to have another pair.
Actual dumbass.
Yeah, she's a seamstress who's also a simp for the snake lady, for the snake nurse.
The Rachne of the sequel and the Mia of the sequel have a thing.
Sappy.
I'm not going to call them by their names until I watch it, so I'm just going to call them by their counterparts in the original.
I would say Diet. Diet Rachne and Diet Rachne and Diet Mia, because if I'm being honest, as entertaining as the show was, the majority of the characters have very little personality compared to Monster Musume.
I wanted more episodes. I want more. I'm starved for more Monster Girl Doctor.
I'm starved for more Life with Monster Girls.
The characters I found myself enjoying are the Mermaid,
she's
the
pretty.
Phoenix Harpy.
They got another harpy.
And Scotty. Scotty is my favorite.
What about Meme?
Meme?
The
Cyclops.
My favorite character.
She's cute, but I wish that the series had actually had her gain a little bit of confidence instead of keeping her as the fearful girl, because that's just not very appealing.
I just wanted to give her a hug.
Yes, my
favorite. So, the Fluttershy effect.
Yes, my favorite character.
Monaco from Monster Musume started off as being insanely shy and not very confident.
I heard Jen.
But they did a lot with her character. Monster Musume did a lot with her character, and she's become one of the most well-developed characters in the series.
I got a lizard.
So, I kind of wish that Mani the same thing had happened to Mani. But unfortunately not.
Anytime someone says anything close to the name, like anything that sounds even similar to Monty, all I can think of is sadness.
All I can think of is Monty Python.
When someone says,
you're lucky.
When someone says they like anime, yes, cartoon for pervs.
When someone says anime is just for kids, first scene of Attack on Titan.
When someone says anime, I'm like, welcome home, brother. When someone says hentai, I say, I see you are a man of culture as well.
See, the thing is, that, like, if you actually know where that came from, there was nothing sexual going on in that whole scene.
Yeah, I know! Nothing sexual, but, like, that's the meme, and I love it. I love that meme.
I'm sorry. Did that bot? Oh my god! No, the bot's overpowered now.
I still need to get rid of that freaking doujinshi manga that I got from that convention. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
What is it about?
What was it? What was it?
Well, okay, so like...
We're gonna make fun of you regardless. What was it?
I don't think you should, because this is actually a very depressing freaking doujinshi. So, you got this new maid that's hired, okay? And you've got this, I think he's a prince as far as I remember, but he's like, kind of like, you know, a soft-spoken prince, like, you know, he wants to be kind, basically. But he's got this, other servant that's a teacher, quotation marks. And she's like in love with him, but she teaches the new maid to also be his kind of teacher. So the prince like ends up liking the new maid a lot. So he's continually being with her. And so the maid that was like formerly in love with the guy basically sets her up to where she's now taking care of like the cooks and never seeing the prince again, and then she turns basically the prince into a sadist basically.
And she's still into it?
Oh, no, not the new maid. The maid that was already in love with the prince. She turns him into a sadist, basically, and by the end of the freaking manga, the maid that was already there before the new one ends up getting together with the prince, having a baby, and the poor new maid ends up having a baby because she thinks every man she looks at is like the man she fell in love with. And that's just how it ends.
I think either you've talked about this before, or I had seen a video about this from like Noble or like Nux or something.
I might have talked about it before, I don't know, but after reading it, I just kind of like closed the manga and I just like kind of pushed it away, and I'm just like, that was so depressing.
Who recommended this to me? You see my name at the top.
Well, I can already tell you, I've read one even more fucked up than that.
How so?
Do tell.
It's called Emergence. Ever heard of it?
Lost Cause. Is that the novel you're talking about?
It is the worst doujin ever. How anyone can get off to something like that is beyond me.
That's how I felt about the one I got.
Wait, what's a doujin?
Oh my god.
Oh,
how have you been in this group?
Poor, sweet, innocent child.
Have you been in this group and not know what a doujin is?
Wait, is it like is it basically just a hentai manga?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
You poor, sweet summer child. Yes, it is.
What? A porno with a plot? What is this?
Oh no, most of them don't have plots.
Yeah, most of them are just an excuse to look at sexy pictures.
Even I know what it
most
is.
of them are fake girls.
XDD.
I should have done some research on the one that I got before buying it, because if I would have known it was that depressing, I never would have bought it.
Hey,
that's the idea.
Oh, you want to know what the story of you want to know what the story of Emergence is?
What?
Nope.
Okay, so there's this girl. There's this girl, a high school girl who is not very attractive. She's not popular. She just likes to spend her day. She just likes to spend her days reading, and I only remember bits and pieces of the actual story, if I'm being honest, because I have done everything I can to try and block it from my memory. That's how bad it is.
Oh.
I wanted to say something.
But basically, to hit the key point, through some horrible actions, she is altered. She is altered and forced to have certain surgeries to make her assets more appealing.
Oh God!
Wait, she's forced to?
Yes.
Who would force her to? Like,
she's
You're talking about a dojin. There are 5 people, and you know exactly who they are.
The R word. She gets the R word, and basically it continues to happen. It continues to happen for months until she just accepts that there is nothing she can do about it. And
so she accepts there is no God.
And after that, she starts being forced to make money for the person who gave her these, for the person who paid for these surgeries, and starts to provide services for anyone he tells her to.
So basically, he's a pimp.
Yeah, and then eventually, when she inevitably gets pregnant, he throws her out. She goes to her parents and tells them the entire thing. And tells them everything. And instead of being understanding,
she falls for a man in school who was feeding her pills. First off,
before telling them everything, her own father does some horrible things to her. And then the next day, he told her mother that apparently she seduced him and forced him into it. And then the two of them kicked her out, but not before the mother beat the shit out of her.
Oh my gosh!
This involve a circus and a demon at any point?
Because of the damage she had sustained, she miscarried.
Did a bit of digging on this no invite shows issue. Apparently, Reddit says it as a fairly
yeah, people do. It's really fucked up.
And for pretty much an entire year, she was just being. For pretty much an entire year, she was going from place to place, and getting used and abused by pretty much every man she ever came across, and eventually got fed up with it, and so just started living on the street and nearly died of hunger.
Did she join a circus with the really small dude who happened to have demonic powers?
No.
So it's not the basis of that one movie that I got forced to watch in a Fate RP group.
She was saved by a couple of fat nerds. She was saved by a couple of fat nerds that were roommates, and they took pity on her. She was nursed back to health, but she didn't feel any better about it. She may have been alive, but she felt dead inside. And so she left them a note thanking them for taking care of her, and that's just where it ends, with her leaving.
Can I actually...
Oh my
Her
gosh.
life doesn't get any better. In fact, she already feels dead inside, so it's kind of hinted that she might have committed suicide.
Can I...
Thanks for that freaking note of confidence, dude.
Oh my lord.
No, never reading manga again.
Hang on, Jed. How can anybody enjoy a manga like that? Like, what was the creator thinking when they made that?
I don't know. Like, I heard rumors about that. That's how I found it. I heard rumors that it was the worst doujin ever made. I heard about that. I'm like, what the hell is in this doujin that makes it so horrible? I read it with the intention. I read it fully expecting it to be messed up. But what I found was way worse than what I could have imagined.
The thing is, though, like, if you look hard enough for anywhere, there are a lot of people who enjoy the fantasy of being emotionally abused.
Like that, and it can be coping for people who have been
And there's anyone who has depression or anything like that who can tell you it's not fun, don't do it.
Anyways,
this goes far beyond being emotionally abused.
Hang on.
The end. You're telling me there are people who get off to people that commit suicide?
I'm done.
No, they get off to putting themselves in that place.
Guys, you're making everybody leave. Okay, let's drop it.
Yeah, let's honestly. That's like the worst part is that I actually have seen. I have seen that in so many places, and I hate it.
Can I actually speak, or are you fuckers gonna still be stupid boneheads and won't let me talk?
Let Jed say what he needs. Let Jed say what he needs to say.
I was trying to say something that was gonna be kind of funny, but no, you had a...
Say what you need to say, Jed.
I'm trying to explain to y'all. Yes, it's wrong, but for some it's coping.
Tentacle hentai so
well, even if it is... Sorry, I'm just talking to Mystic, Jed. Don't mind me.
The funny fact is the reason why tentacle hentai is so popular in Japan is because when they started first making it, penises had to be censored, so they just worked around it.
But even if it is coping, Mystic, it's still wrong.
Well, except did you know that like tentacle hentai was a thing even before hentai was a thing? Like
I know.
There's there are actual ancient Japan.
I'm giving you a hug after the stream,
murals
Mystic.
with tentacle monsters screwing women. There's ancient
Is
Japanese
that why it's everywhere in anime?
that.
Because it's like religiously symbolic to Shintoism?
Okay, yeah. It's just gonna be like that.
You know, I'm just gonna...
If you guys were expecting wholesome content...
That's the bottom line. The Japanese are really freaking weird.
You know what I heard?
For it anyway.
Okay, you know what I heard that they have in Japan?
A literal museum dedicated to shit?
No, like, okay, so like, I've heard they have like vending machines for underwear, but I didn't know they had vending machines for soiled underwear.
What the
God!
Pig shop?
I just heard that. I don't know if it's true, but if it is, why?
Okay, it's not fun.
Well, if Amazon delivers to your nearest vending machine, I mean, there's really anything could happen. You can literally, in Japan, pick home, work address, or local vending machine to have your stuff dropped off.
Alright.
And
Even
again,
though like
out,
some of the Japanese are indeed weird, I still it doesn't deter me from how amazing they are in their culture and everything.
Yeah. Oh, did you know that because of World War II, Japan, according to like every treaty they had to sign afterwards declaring their end of hostilities, they cannot have a military of any form.
Really?
Yeah, because no one wants to have to nuke them again.
Well, I know I definitely don't.
Yeah, I mean, they make so much anime and manga. I don't want them to get nuked.
It's hard to imagine
back in the 50s and 40s.
Anime and manga.
They were making that back in the 40s and 50s, and they still got nuked. Let's put that in perspective.
It's hard to imagine we ever went to war with them, you know?
Yeah, well, that's why no one wants to nuke them anymore, because they're providing us with such great entertainment.
Actually, no, most of the countries of the world want them gone. Like, they want specifically anime gone because it's too perverted. There's too many, like... It's because of the culture of Japan. No one wants to deal with that coming in their borders.
Well, no one said they have to...
Japan is a lot more mature about stuff like that than any other country. Every other country is like, no!
There are whole businesses dedicated to touching young girls as soon as they come of age. Sexually. You can set it up to look like you're like a principal or something in school touching a schoolgirl or something like that. Like, as long as you don't put it in them, you can do whatever you want in these places.
I'd rather just go to a like butler cafe in Japan.
Oh, absolutely.
Or they
Those
have
guys
like
get paid
Maid
premium.
Cafe.
or Maid Cafe.
Yeah, Maid
or
Cafe,
get this.
Maid-
Okay, they've got a freaking Pokemon cafe in Japan that looks amazing.
Is there like an Akihabara or something?
Oh, a what?
Cafe.
Akihabara. It's like the #1 area in Tokyo. I think it's an area in Tokyo, not its own city, where it's basically just for all the weebs and shit to come in and just get a hold of all their anime merch and stuff.
I guess in a way, but this
I'd like to go to a
restaurant
cat.
Pokemon
Cafe, make it happen.
for like the Pokemon cafe
Yeah.
is like your food.
Nekopara, here we come.
Your food represents a certain Pokemon. If you get like a certain drink, it'll have like some little Pokemon. It's just so
They literally
cute.
have the Electabuzz. Yeah.
Speaking
At the
of
bar, they have the
Nekopara, Coconut is
Electabuzz.
my favorite. She's best girl.
Yes, agreed.
I haven't played. I just know what it is, and I've seen
They have an
pictures.
anime now, and they introduced a brand new character into the anime.
I started
Cacao,
watching
and she's
that, and I also
adorable.
started watching Hyperdimension Neptunia, the anime. And I stopped watching after 5 minutes because A, I was still in school, so I had to hide the shit out of that.
Well, also,
Yeah, I still
Hyperdimension
watch-
Neptunia, the anime, is not very good because it doesn't cover anything from the games. It's just kind of.
It doesn't cover the characters either.
Yeah, it has like very few of the characters. It's just
That's
kind of
not
a
what I
slice of
meant.
life about Nep.
That is not what I meant.
Nepokia.
But anyway, you should definitely watch Nekopara, the anime, because it's pretty dang good.
Agreed.
And the new character they introduced, Cacao, is adorable.
She is the most precious thing in existence next to Kana.
Well,
Kana from Dragon Maid?
I'm gonna add a couple more characters. I'm gonna add a couple more characters to that. There's also Ushio from Clanad.
Okay.
She's adorable. And
Isn't she also
Eri
super
from
dead?
My Hero Academia. You can't deny Eri is up there too.
Eri is
Oh,
like
yeah,
the precious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Eri is the precious one that if I was Deku, I would try to keep her as close as possible, so if the fight gets too intense, I can just have her
She
go
must be
piggyback and we
protected
can
at all
beat the
costs.
shit out of everything.
Right, W.
She must be protected at all costs.
Even a quirk.
I
That's
love where the manga is going right now.
Isn't
Oh
it
my
like,
god.
didn't Deku like leave UA or something?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
AC.
because his secret is out now. The secret is out. The secret is out now. The public
they had to
knows.
tell them.
The public knows that. The public knows that the villains are after One for All, and they know it's a quirk. They just don't know who has it. And Deku left UA, leaving notes for all of his classmates, telling them the truth about One for All.
Oh crap!
Except
I
for
wonder how
Bakugo, because Bakugo
reacted
didn't need to know.
that.
You already
We don't
found
know
out.
because we just see the people reacting to the note. We don't know how anyone actually took it. We never get to see how they actually take it. It's like, what? Come on! I wanted to see how freaking Uraraka and Ida and Shoto were gonna take it. I wanted to see how they were gonna handle that.
There's a movie
I could see
coming after.
Bakugo's like being like, Deku, you idiot.
Oh yeah, oh,
You
oh,
damn
yeah.
nerd!
When
Oh, yes, I can't wait for the new movie.
When Deku was in the hospital in just a few chapters ago, when he was in the hospital, I was shocked by what Bakugo did. I was absolutely shocked
What did
by
he
what
do?
Bakugo
Wait,
did.
what'd he do? What'd he do?
Bakugo, who by the way had injuries just as bad as Deku and nearly died, he runs out of his hospital room and starts running towards Deku's hospital room. All his other classmates have to hold him back. Like, he's being held back by, like, six classmates, and he's like, let me go! I'm gonna go punch that nerd till he wakes up!
Now,
like, he's actually showing concern for Deku.
Well, because...
Bakugo is growing more as a character, I think. Like,
yeah, especially since the end of All Might.
This war arc has done so much. In just the last, like, 20 chapters, Bakugo has grown more than 5 seasons of anime.
Well, those 5 seasons...
So are you saying you actually like Bakugo now?
Dude, everyone loves Bakugo. Bakugo is a Japanese national treasure.
It's not going to cover the war arc that just happened.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to cover the first emergence of One for All going a little unstable.
It's going to cover leading up to the war, but it's not going to cover the war itself. That's going to be season 6. And so we're not going to get to see Bakugo actually grow as a character until season 6.
Yeah, but we are going to see Black Widow. We're going to see Black Widow
more than in 5 seasons of anime.
I think he's already grown a bit, because remember when he like just belt everything out when he was after the fight with Deku?
Which fight with Deku?
Like the main fight
where
they
5 fights so far.
Like the main fight which caused him to burst into tears, saying like it was his fault that All Might
fight.
is.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm just like
the season 3 fight.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
the fight
Bakugo!
about All Might, not the fight against
It's kind
All
of
Might.
a trope that the two of them fight every season.
Yeah, I mean it's like Gorilla Grodd in the Flash.
But like I didn't like Bakugo at the very beginning, especially when he told
and now
Deku.
You're a simp for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just shows how much he's grown as a character and how much he's grown on me. He's replaced Tokoyami as my #1 favorite male character.
He has, like...
My favorite male character is probably
has not stopped
still
being an asshole.
Kirishima.
He has not stopped being an asshole as of yet. He is still a grade A asshole, and he's going to continue to be that until season 6, when he finally gets some actual character development.
Well, I mean, he wasn't as bad of an asshole in the last movie as what he's been throughout
Well, that's
most
because
of the
that's
show.
supposed to take place in between seasons 5 and 6.
Which doesn't make sense, because isn't this season supposed to be when Deku gets Black Whip?
Yeah, supposedly, but here's the thing.
Why?
But here's the thing. This is also the season when we're going to be reintroduced to the doc, to the mad scientist.
Oh yeah, the one that everyone got mad about his name and tried to cancel Horikoshi because it apparently had to do with the genetic experimentation in World War II, which he had not at all intended.
Yeah,
Wait,
he
hang on,
just
Zardo.
know about that.
Which is weird because he lives in Japan, but...
Well, he didn't know about this one scientist. Like, I don't know the names
No, it wasn't one
of
scientist,
every
it was a
single
project.
Nazi that ever
It was
existed.
the name of a project, is what it was. It wasn't the name of one scientist. It was the name of a full project into genetic research of how to... Basically kind of like a weird super soldier program.
You know, like, when it comes to the villains, and spoilers for anybody who hasn't read the manga, Dabi, I think Dabi has every right to be mad at Endeavor and become a villain for what he did.
Which, so here's the thing, like, everyone, I think, from the moment Dabi came on screen in Season 3, has suspected he's somehow related to Endeavor and Todoroki.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Haiku. You haven't actually read... You clearly haven't read the chapters that explain Dabi's backstory. Because if you actually see that, you'll see that Endeavor never actually did anything to Dabi. In fact, he was trying to protect Dabi, and Dabi went crazy.
It's because Dabi was, like, the, like, super him. His quirk, the blue flames...
The blue
if
flames
you guys know about
hurt
science...
Dabi. The blue flames hurt. The blue flames hurt Dobby.
and
Whenever he
never
uses it,
forcing
it
him
hurt.
like
Whenever he
people
uses it, it hurts him. And because he doesn't have his mother's ice
well,
quirk to
there it
cancel
is.
out the pain, he's just going to end up killing himself if he continues to use it. Endeavor
Which is why the quirk is
knew
cremation.
this, and Endeavor knew this, and he knew that if he continued to try to be a hero,
Dobby
it would
wanted
kill
to prove
him.
himself, and
So
like being
Endeavor
told he
forbid
wasn't
him from
strong
trying to
enough.
from trying to become a hero in order to save his life. Dobby couldn't accept that and kept trying to train in secret. And then
All
there was
Dobby
that
wanted was to be a
fire
hero.
where he was presumed
Last
dead.
time they tried to join, it just said, "Nope, you can't join. Nope, you can't join us because we hate you."
That is just weird. That's never happened before.
What is it?
For some
Last
reason,
time-
Zalgo can't join.
No, last time I tried this, it said, "Last time you cannot join this because we hate you."
Wait, what?
So it's I made that up.
I was gonna say, what?
I was like, when have we ever said anything like that?
Let's just hope this time it works.
Okay.
Because I did a little fiddling with my internet router.
But anyway,
And-
didn't like Dobby look at his mom and ask if like he could be a hero too?
Yes, but not everyone
Yeah,
can
looks
be
like
a
it's
hero
working
if
so
you're
far.
hurting
Yeah,
yourself.
and she was,
A hero
and
knows their
she
limits and doesn't go
failed
past them for
Dobby. She
themselves.
failed Dobby. She spent so much
Guilty
time
fraud.
focusing on her other kids that she never noticed how much Dobby was suffering.
But here's the question:
It
though.
just
If Dobby
makes you
has, like,
sympathize for Dobby.
So,
And
here's the thing.
besides,
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
just because
he was forbidden from trying to become a hero by Endeavor because Endeavor was trying to save his life, because Endeavor's quirk was going to kill him. And so Endeavor was trying to save his life, and after the fire and after he was presumed dead, Endeavor was so stricken with grief, he didn't know how to deal with it, and so he doubled down on trying to train Shoto. He blocked
So it's all
out
Dobby's
the grief.
fault
He
that
blocked
Shoto
the grief
turned out
out
on
and
almost
doubled down on
emotionless?
trying to train Shoto, and as a result, that grief just made him feel
Yet
worse and
Endeavor
worse
just
until
made some
eventually
bad
he started to
phrasing at the
become
time, has
the
not
horrible
perfect,
father
but
that
has
he
trying.
was.
and a
That
wife
he
beater.
started
grief
out-
changed him. The
Yeah,
grief
he
of
started
losing
out as
his
a
firstborn
Bakugo.
son is what triggered that change in him.
He definitely started out as a Bakugo.
Yes, it worked.
But then over time he'd started to like Bakugo get better, become a better person. But then you go through so much grief, you start to revert a lot of things because it's easier to process when you're turning off the emotions you've had to learn.
Yeah. He was not a horrible person when he started off. He did love his family. He did care about them a lot. And after the presumed death of Dobby, he changed. He changed. That grief is what changed him to becoming as horrible as he was. And then like years later, he becomes the #1 hero by default, and he has to take a step back and look at what he did to himself and to his family.
Yeah, it's not
And
much.
he finally has to come to the terms with the
You got a
fact that he
scrawny
was
nag,
horrible.
don't you?
Yes.
You need a
I
new
do.
horse.
Yeah. So
I
another
don't-
thing that I'd like to point out though is how is it
short
that
of
Dobby's
money.
quirk is able to burn him if Endeavor's can't?
Well, it's
He inherited the
because of the
same
blue
level of
flames.
fire with. So yeah, he
It's
inherited
because
the
of the
same
blue
level
flames.
of
Blue
fire
flames are
resistance.
hotter than red flames.
I mean, yeah, I know.
And
but,
aren't
like,
white
so,
flames the hottest? Like white flames?
White flames, if you go anywhere near it, your bones aren't surviving. The ashes aren't surviving.
Yeah. White flames are the hottest, but if you're talking fiction, then it's black flames.
But
I don't know.
So,
have you ever seen that time
Dobby
supernatural
still suffered
battles
from
became
bad
commonplace?
burns, right?
Blue
Because-
is
Yeah.
not
Burns that
letting
he
Endeavor's
himself
work
gave,
hurts
that
him
he
too
himself
if not
did.
careful.
He burned himself in
And
his
then he
attempts
treated
to train himself.
with those staples in his body.
Someone treated him. We haven't met the person who... We haven't figured out exactly who treated him, but it's believed that the same person who treated him is the one who led him down the path of villainy.
I'm gonna go find it.
The doctor. It's the doctor.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's the doctor because he's been in hiding for years, pretending to be just a normal doctor that tells people if they have a quirk or not. He's the guy that we saw in episode 1 that told Deku he was quirkless.
Yeah.
When in fact, doesn't Deku have a quirk? I thought
No,
I thought I read somewhere that he eventually develops I think his father's quirk or something.
No.
No, he develops possibly a quirk that was similar to what his dad might have had, but what happens is he develops each of the quirks of the original users of One for All going back through them.
Yeah.
It's possible he
There
could
are
be
six.
one and it's not
There
sure.
are 6 quirks that he can. There are 6 quirks that he can unlock from 6 previous users of One for All.
Which, it doesn't make sense that Toshinori didn't have an extra quirk to cause him to embiggen the way he does. Because that means that it had already started busting and so he was able to absorb another quirk. But as far as we've been told, Deku is the only one who has had this power and this capability because of how unstable One for All has become after so many transfers.
No, it's not that it's become unstable. It's that it's become more. It's that it's become more powerful. It's that it's become more powerful, and that it's become more powerful, and that no user has been able to handle having all of these other quirks, because anyone that already has a quirk can't get. Anyone that already has a quirk can't unlock any of the. And All Might couldn't unlock any of the other previous quirks because somehow his body was not capable of handling it. Most likely due to the injury he sustained against his first battle with All for One. That's probably what caused him to not.
They treat that like it was something that came far later in his career, though. Like he should have had access to the other quirks beforehand. But again, my thing is that he might.
Well, no, because when he got All for One, he trained. When he got all One for All, he trained his body in order to become as strong as he possibly could, and then fought All for One in order to avenge his fallen master. Got hurt, but managed to bring him down, and after that later became known as the world's greatest hero. Because keep in mind, if he had already been known as the world's greatest hero prior to his first fight with All for One, everyone would have already known who All for One was. No one knew who he was when he showed up in Season 3. Which means that it happened before he became known as the world's #1 hero. Which means he got that power before he became as strong as he was at the start of the series, which meant that his body was not ready to receive the other quirks yet. And after sustaining that injury, he was no longer capable of receiving other quirks because of that injury.
Now here's a question about one of the villains. We all know that they have a reason for being a villain. What was Toga's besides being inspired by Stain? Is it just being inspired by Stain that caused her to be a villain?
We get a little hint. We don't know the full reason, but we get hints as to what might have happened. Because of her, apparently, what's being hinted with her is that because of her quirk, she was already being treated as a villain, even though she originally wanted to be a hero, and it's hinted that her own parents tried to kill her, or tried to kill her.
Oh, so Shinzo, but edgier.
Being with Night.
So, when the topic of her parents got brought up, she got real pissed.
And overhaul.
She got real pissed. So like, it's kind of hinted
Is
that
this
they
like
might
stuff
have
that
tried to
Hawks?
kill her.
Is this stuff that like Hawks got out of the League of Villains while he was undercover?
Yeah, Hawks pretended to be a villain for a while. To get in close with the League of Villains.
Also, anyone who hasn't seen the anime, sorry for that spoiler.
Hawks is one of the best heroes, I think.
And you know what's
Hey, Haiku! My name's not Haiku!
Oh, I just keep calling you that, but are you ever going to do Journey again?
I honestly do not know.
Well, when I heard him say "Hey, Koo," it sounded like he was just saying "Hey" and then calling you Koo.
Yeah,
I asked you that because
people. You think that's bad, AC? They've been making fun of my name.
I asked you that because I can show you all the
Hey, Freeverse, how you doing?
There is in the game. I know every single one.
Hi, Koo.
I think I only got Journey for the PS Now. I think. Oh wait, no, I didn't. No, I can't remember.
No, you should have gotten it for the PS4.
Hi,
If you have PS Plus.
Hey, Haiku, I know what you should name your an evil doppelganger if you ever get one.
What?
Freeverse.
Why?
Poetry. Haiku is a very structured form of it. Freeverse is whatever you want it to be.
Where is the train?
Anyway, bro, what was that song you guys were singing?
I was going to say Hawks as you know.
Look at who you came to see. It's Haiku.
Oh,
no. You were saying it's Haichu, and that got me really mad.
Yeah, Haichu.
The Haichu. I'm just like, why?
Bless you.
It's Haiku, not Haichu, not
Bless you.
Haiku.
Slap says all 50 says. Let's go.
I got
Not
something
IQ.
different, but it's probably stupid.
Oh, AC, have you watched any more of the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No.
I saw like somebody review an
This over the
episode.
mic?
I don't like the design. I don't like the designs of any of the characters. I don't like the way the Turtles look. I don't like the way Splinter looks. I don't like the way April looks.
I think that Asai was like basically for the fighting scenes, because I will admit the fighting scenes are awesome. But I will still stand by 2012's version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles being the best.
TMNT was the best version
2003.
of TMNT.
Dare you.
2012.
2003, you uncultured swine.
No, 2012.
2003 sucked. Half their dialogue was puns on Shell.
Because they couldn't curse.
I got some fun news. XDD well, drawing news.
Because they weren't allowed to curse. That's why everything was like shell this and shell that.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, it was trying to be insanely dark and gritty, but it's about a bunch of turtles eating pizza.
Wait, again.
I think we can all agree.
Which one was the 2003 one?
The 2003 one. Okay, do you remember
Back to the
Ninja
Sewers,
Turtles?
fast forward, they get mystic ninja powers at the end of the show in the original run.
I'm drawing something just a little.
What did you say, Haiku?
Ooh. Can we all just agree that the 2012 Splinter was by far the best Splinter?
Absolutely.
I will concede that.
Absolutely. Best Splinter, and it also had the best Shredder. I freaking love that Shredder.
The first rule of being a ninja
had 3
is
shredders.
The first rule of being a ninja is do no harm, unless you mean to do harm.
Unless you intend to do
lots of harm. This is why Splinter was the best in that.
I would have loved to see, like, for the episode where they're training, or he's training, freaking April, if there had been a wax on, wax off portion.
Not to mention they actually, like, use actual, like this Splinter actually speaks in Japanese, like, especially when he talks to Tiger Claw. They both, like, speak in Japanese to each other. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's so cool!
Yeah. I love that. I love the Splinter and Shredder in the 2012 one.
Shredder was a lot more menacing.
I also love Karai in that one. Karai is so cool in 2012 one. She's awesome.
My biggest thing is that, at least in my version, Leonardo didn't have 5 voices.
Tiger Claw.
Oh, yeah.
Leonardo had 2.
But
He had 1 voice
No,
in the
there
first
was
2
the first
seasons,
guy, there was a second guy who sounded incredibly similar, but actually was different.
It was actually Jason. It was Jason Biggs' fault because he said something bad about Leonardo's character, so then he was fired from being Leonardo. And then
they got another guy to do it for like a season, and then they got Seth Green to do it for most of other season.
No, they got this other guy to be Leonardo for like 8 episodes because they were trying to find someone better. So this other guy that voiced him for 8 episodes was just a temporary voice so they could find a permanent one.
Yeah. Also, if you're gonna say that 2012's was better, their Turtle Forever was horrible by comparison.
The what?
Whenever they had them cross over with the 60s Turtles, with the comics Turtles, 60s or 80s, I can't remember. But yeah, they had them go through the Turtles before 2003, and then the original comics. Yeah. Those sequences were, sure they were a little bit inventive, but it was so much better on each of those instances going into both of those other Turtles when they did it in 2003's version with the end of Back to the Sewer.
Oh, hey AC, I've got something that'll make you hate the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles even more because I did not like as well what they did.
I'm pretty sure that's not possible.
Alright, how about this? See Jones a chick. Jones a chick. A freaking, like, shaved-headed chick.
Here's the thing. Canon!
I'm gonna look this up!
It's canon in the comics. Check out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin.
But her full name is Cassandra Jones.
I think that's what it was not as well. It's either Casey or Cassie for Casey's daughter. Who... Oh, and you guys want to know who survives if the Shredder got his own family to go around and start killing the Turtles religiously more than they already do, and succeed?
Who?
Michelangelo.
Wait, what?
Michelangelo is the last turtle alive.
You're looking the part there.
Oh, I feel so bad for Mikey.
And he lives with the voices of his brothers constantly making him question whether or not he's worthy of being the last one alive.
Cool.
Mikey should not be alone. He is such a baby boy.
Oh, after April nurses him back to health after failing to kill Orokusaki's son, he is 2 seconds from stabbing himself with Leonardo's sword before Casey and April's daughter comes in, and he just quickly hides it.
Oh my gosh, that got really dark!
Yeah!
I mean, at least he was going out in an honorable way.
I mean, that is committing Simboku, but... But I think for the wrong reason. You commit... You commit...
Does Casey in Rise of the TMNT have a buzz cut?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
I didn't watch that version for obvious reasons. Raphael is not the leader. I don't care what you wanted, MC Hammer. It didn't happen. You guys don't get what I'm talking about with that. Go watch the original live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
We get what you mean by that.
Okay.
Don't think us for idiots.
I'm not. Okay. I'm taking the Audi.
I stand corrected.
You found something to hate more?
I'll give that to you, Haiku. You were right. I hate it even more now. I didn't think that was possible.
Wait, does that mean that April's gay?
So I'm missing a lot. Sorry.
I don't know. Like, April is seen with Donnie a lot, and they're like considered like best friends. They're like science friends and everything. But I don't know.
Are we going to get
Science
another
and nerds.
She's
2012
also a chubby
thing?
black girl.
Actually,
Yeah, I'm aware.
I can like forgive that because April in this version is freaking hilarious, especially when she fights. And I like to think of Rise as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as another universe, like how they had in the 2012 version. Like, because they showed different universes.
Let's remember, they started that idea in Turtle Forever, which was 2003's.
No, they started the idea back in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What episode?
Y'all could get fucked.
No, the idea of jumping around with other turtles.
Don't go attributing that to the 2003 when they took that idea from the original.
I mean, you can say the same thing about all the Spider-Man comics taking the multiverse idea from the animated series, because that was the first place to do that. To have a coming together of Spider-Man. So any of you Marvel fans who want to find something that you can use against someone to say they don't know Spider-Man, there you go. You're welcome.
Let's see if I can get a holster.
Really? You're gonna try that shit?
But, like, I still think the 2012 was a better version, and it had a pretty good casting, too. Like, I personally think that Rob Paulson was better as Donatello than he was as Raphael in the 80s.
Back when he was Raphael, no one cared. No one cared about how you were going to voice a character. You just went in and did it. Around the time of like Yakko Warner and things, that was when people like Rob really started to put everything into it.
When I first heard Raphael's voice in the 2012 one, I'm like, wait a minute, and I go look it up, and I'm like, oh my god, that's Samwise Gamgee!
Yeah, that was my thought too. Where I'm like, okay, we got any other Lord of the Rings characters? Hey, it's Beast Boy!
Oh.
Yeah, I also think that was a good choice for Mikey's voices, like Beast Boys. Because
yeah, absolutely.
I do love that part whenever they're talking about the mutagen.
I heard that, and immediately I'm like, oh, it's Beast Boy! Like, I didn't even have to look that one up. That one was just immediately recognizable.
Haiku, we have been over this. Do not use that trash Teen Titans wannabe in my presence.
Booyaka Show was something Mikey said.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And then they started using it in the other show whenever they had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover, where they couldn't call them the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Leo, Donnie, or Raph or Mikey. Let's remember that Cartoon Network got around copyright to make a joke about Turtles.
I don't watch Teen Titans Go because it's shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the movie simply for the fact that it had the...
Hey!
What?
I just remembered.
What?
Have any of you heard the great news that Nickelodeon announced?
What?
Avatar's coming back!
What is? What?
No, I mean, well, there's that too, but I already talked to Haiku about that a while ago.
What's the news?
There's a few Nickelodeon shows that are coming back that are getting new seasons that are going to come onto Paramount Plus.
Let me guess, Ren and Stimpy?
Ew.
Ren and Stimpy is one of them.
Ew.
Oh.
Rugrats is another.
Wait, Rugrats? Really?
Which one?
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy and Rugrats are both getting new seasons, and they're bringing the original creators back on board to make the new seasons.
I could care less about Ren and Stimpy.
Rugrats already had a whole second series.
All grown up, I really want to shout it out. All grown up.
Yeah, All Grown Up sucked.
I loved All Grown Up. Frick you.
I watched All Grown Up. I didn't care for it, but I was also 5 years old, so I was like, ooh, colors.
You're not all grown up. You're all like freaking 12 years old. You're just getting started. You haven't even got through puberty yet.
And then meanwhile, you still got Angelica being like, wait till you get to high school, blowing cigarette.
Sorry, I got excited.
But yeah, but also...
But that sound coming from excitement?
Those are confirmed.
No,
but did you know there's also a handful of shows that Nickelodeon is looking at, and they're trying to see who will take on these projects so they can greenlight them.
Like what?
There's a few other shows that they want to continue, but they need to get people on these projects before they can greenlight them.
Please tell me Wild Thornberrys is one of them.
Please tell me Jimmy Neutron is one of them.
Unfortunately, Wild Thornberrys is not in that list.
Dang.
What is on that list, however, there's the show about the beavers.
Angry Beavers.
Angry Beavers? I never even watched that show.
Angry Beavers.
I watched it.
Real monsters.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
I don't remember that at all.
I played the
Monsters,
Super Nintendo
Angry
game.
Beavers, Jimmy Neutron.
Yes!
Wow.
And assuming they can get Butch Hartman on the project,
Butch
Hartman, don't let us down. Danny Phantom might be coming back.
I feel like that would have to be a sequel series of like about Danny's kid or something, or about the little girl Danny.
Yes.
Like her growing up and having to take over a mantle after he decides to retire or something.
Well, except Butch Hartman has already stated what he'd do if he was allowed to make a fourth season.
Probably a no.
What did he say he'd do?
He talked about it on his YouTube channel.
There is a series that I want to be continued, like badly.
He said that if Danny Phantom got a fourth season, there were a few ghosts that he never got to show in the series that he would love to show, and there's a few ghosts that he wanted to have Danny fight one last time, but there wasn't enough time to make it happen. So he'd make a few episodes about that stuff, and he said that he would probably make three two-part episodes. He would make 3 two-part episodes. One was going to be about graduation.
Didn't they go to college or something? Like, isn't it like the final line about them like moving on with their lives, going to like college or whatever?
Oh no, they never actually graduated. They're still in high school by the end of season 3. They're in their senior year by the end of season 3, but they haven't graduated.
And doesn't like the entire planet know who Danny is now?
Yeah, so he'd be dealing with life as a celebrity.
Who would want to see like them continue like Rocket Power?
Not really.
No?
I didn't really care too much for Rocket Power, to be honest.
The episodes I watched I thought were pretty good. Since I was little, I couldn't watch them.
Danny Phantom Season 4 would have been Ben 10 Ultimate Alien? Where you go through all these years, no one knows who he is. He goes around fighting crime and stuff. People either like him or they don't. He's generally considered a hero. I don't
blame you, Mystic.
But the government wants to try and get access to whatever it is that makes him tick.
Oh, you're streaming. Fuck, I can't play it.
Honestly, it would be basically Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, but Danny Phantom is what it would be.
Oh, yes, I know that.
Ben 10 Ultimate Alien if he could only use Ghost Freak.
Since I'm very openly autistic.
Also, wasn't like one of the most universally hated things they did in the final season was like adding elemental powers?
The only elemental power they added was the ice, and that's just a natural progression of his ghost sense. Because every time he passes through somebody, they feel a chill. So he already is associated with the cold. So him utilizing that is just a natural progression of his powers.
Because he's a ghost! Ghosts naturally cause necrotic area of effect, which usually leads to feeling of chill, or high-powered density eldritch blasts, which he uses frequently.
Why are you using D&D references?
So the people at home can understand.
Anyway.
True.
Anyway. But Butch Hartman did state that if a season 4 was ever made, he would want to make a two-part episode to show off Danny in the future that he creates.
So he would have not only gone Ultimate Alien, he would have gone Steven Universe Future.
Well, think of it kind of like Ben 10,000.
Okay.
It's Danny Phantom, but Ben 10,000.
So he's an a-hole who never changes out of his ghost form. Okay.
No, he's good. No, he's good. Look up Butch Hartman's YouTube channel. He made like 3 videos talking about like the future of Danny Phantom, and he even made a bunch of drawings showing what each character would look like in the future.
I was making a joke, but okay.
Butch Hartman's gotten a lot of hate, so...
Don't look at them.
Yeah, what did he do?
I don't understand. What did he do again?
They're not great.
Oh, he can't draw.
Basically, he was charging $50 for shitty commissions.
I mean, he got fired from the only job he'd had for 20 years.
Yeah.
And he was a writer.
Well,
even then, like, when you saw him draw, like, Fairly Odd Parents, or you saw him draw Danny Phantom for that one thing that they do on Nicktoons,
I know.
that little segment they do in the middle of commercials, they always, like, start bringing someone in, or when they disappear, you'd see this picture was slightly different, like someone else had, like, or it was different. What you saw was just, he'd gotten so far into one, it looked really good, messed something up, did it again, did it again, did it again, then you get the final photo.
Okay, that doesn't really make sense because you actually see him drawing on his YouTube channel.
Go ahead, Misty.
No, but yeah, like the entire thing about Butch Hartman is that he was charging like at conventions $50 for shitty commissions.
Not only that, but when some of the commissions that he did, he just basically redrew some stuff. Like somebody asked for a Ranma drawing, he basically just drew a redraw of a already existing picture of Ranma.
Has scammed people of money with the false streaming platform, lying about Christian views being put into it.
Yeah, Mystic says Butch has scammed people of money with a false streaming platform, lying about Christian views being put into it.
Is this person seriously running? Not even fighting.
He charges $200 in full on traces.
I forgot you're playing Dark Souls.
He charges $200 and full on traces / heavily references.
Has went on to state you can pray away autism.
Has went on state you can pray away autism.
Oh,
what
fun.
The fuck? Well, at least he's not telling everyone to try that bleach. I'd say that's the reason why I'm currently not.
And telling people you can't criticize him unless you're a professional. So yeah, Butch Hartman, bad guy.
Kind of an asshole.
Yeah, I pretty much just hear.
It raises the question of how he's able to make so many shows of like with so many heartwarming moments.
I mean, it's not just him making the show, to be
fair. Because he's more of a writer than an artist.
Except I've actually seen him do drawings of his own characters. When it's his own characters, he's fantastic at drawing them.
Okay.
He also isn't the designer behind the characters. He draws, but claims them anyway.
Well, he was the designer for both Timmy, Danny, Cosmo, Wanda, Sam, and Tucker.
And Mystic says he also claims to put Christian values in his shows.
Yeah. Which is not true, because I've seen all of these shows all the way through, and there's no Christian values in any of them.
Maybe Channel Chasers, where Timmy realizes that instead of going after his tower fantasy, he should stay with his parents.
Okay. So, the thing is, Butch Hartman may have designed characters. He may be able to draw, you know, these great, you know, like the cartoons that he makes. But, he's scamming people, bottom line.
Yeah, never ask for a commission from Butch Hartman.
Because it turned out he's bad at drawing characters he's not familiar with, that means he's scamming people. Sorry, I don't buy that. Like, if I'm an artist and I know how to draw certain characters, but then there are others that I'm not familiar with, and then somebody pays me money to try and draw it. If it turns out bad, but I give it my best, but I still give it my best attempt, that's not me scamming them. That's me giving them what they want. That's me giving them what they wanted to the best of my ability.
But I still don't think that he should be charging $200 for a commission.
I'm not familiar with, but if you pay me, I'm not gonna get trash.
Here's the thing: what would you do if you had like no job if you had no job left? You have to raise the price of your commissions in order to meet ends meet.
For good art.
Okay, here's what Mystic says. He also joked that Tara caused a what did you say?
I take commissions.
Okay. He also joked that Tara caused the voice actress of Timmy to commit OS on a podcast. He's a narcissistic, conservative a-hole. Honey, I can't draw characters I'm not familiar with, but if you pay me, I'm not going to give trash. You're paying for that. You're paying for good art. I take commissions. That's what she says. That's what Mystic says.
Did she plug herself in that?
I didn't really understand that.
Did she plug her own art in that?
Well, no, she's saying that, like, even though, like, she might not be used to drawing certain characters, she will still give good art.
I'm a bit heated, sorry. Emoji grinning, squinting face.
Okay,
she said
so
she's a bit heated. She apologizes.
It's a sales pitch, it's not a sales pitch, and those are the best sales pitches.
I have an article pulled up right here, so once I get done with this invasion, I'll read it.
He has a very specific art style, so if the character he's drawing is someone he's not familiar with, and doesn't quite fit in the art style that he uses, then I can understand it not coming out the way that the person would want. But he would still give it he's still giving it the best of his ability. I think this whole situation is being blown far out of proportion, and that's my stance on it, and I'm going to stick to it.
I'm sorry, but if someone says that you can pray away autism, or it tells you to possibly take that bleach solution that one church was trying to sell as the cure for autism, I can no longer stand by that person.
There is no cure for autism, just like there's no cure for epilepsy. Now, for epilepsy, there's medicine that helps you not have seizures, but you have it for the rest of your life, unless you get it at an early on. Then you can grow out of it.
Yeah, same thing with me. I was born with autism. That's not something that can be cured or dealt with. I was also born with undeveloped lungs, so I had asthma for the first 2 to 3 years of my life. I grew out of that because my lungs finished developing.
I had a history of seizures when I was 2 and 3, and the doctors believe that it's what caused my form of autism to develop. That the seizures kind of messed with my brain and caused that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but you don't have seizures anymore, right?
No, not anymore. It stopped when I was 4.
No, I still
now,
have
see, if you have epilepsy early on, you can grow out of it. But if you're like me and get it in the later stages of life, you will have it for the rest of your life.
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that. I'm just contributing to the conversation by telling you my plights that I've dealt with. That the seizures that I dealt with early on in my life essentially caused me to develop a form of autism.
It might have exacerbated the symptoms, But no, if you have autism, it's with you from birth. It is a
No, that's the
birth
thing.
defect.
Like, I showed zero signs of autism until after the seizure stopped.
How the fuck are they supposed to be testing you for autism when anything that you do that could be considered autistic could be a seizure?
I started showing signs of autism. Not until then. So the doctor said that the seizures might have did something. It might have did something with my brain, like rewired my brain a bit to have a form of autism. It's a high functioning form of autism. It doesn't hinder me physically. It basically makes it so that, like, my brain is moving 1,000,000 miles faster than my mouth can keep up with, and so so I end up stuttering in certain parts of sentences and taking pauses, and I just kind of come off as really awkward. Which, to be fair, I am a pretty awkward guy. So most people don't really assume that I have a form of autism, but I do. It's what's kind of causing all of the stuttering and pauses and everything.
I'm awkward too.
When I was in high school and we started talking about the fact that I could possibly have autism, because we didn't know what was wrong with me from when I was born to about when I was 18.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mystic.
And that was around the time. What's wrong?
Mystic said she's probably gonna leave. She's getting a bit bothered.
Sorry, Mystic.
Bothered by
Sending
what?
hugs.
What's wrong?
Sending hugs.
By like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
What about it is...
A lot of these streams just become podcasts.
Yeah, it's pretty much becoming a podcast.
We can literally just do a Zoom call with everyone and just call it a podcast.
I could pretty much relate to what AC was talking about earlier, because I still have that kind of history.
Yeah. Okay, so back on my story, until I was 18, we didn't know I had autism. But we knew something was wrong with me. We thought it was some form of ADHD or something. I've been taking medicine to deal with that for years, and it did help. Because that's part of the trigger of my autism is somewhere in the same area that triggers ADHD type symptoms. I'm high functioning, but my whole, like, my mouth moves a mile a minute, my brain moves at like 40 miles per hour.
It's random spike, and I don't really have.
So,
okay, Mystic.
Like, that's for, like, up until I was 14, I never had an actual filter for putting my thoughts through whenever I was talking. So, yeah, if you say anything to me in confidence and someone managed to keep me from being actively conscious of not saying it, I would accidentally spill a lot of secrets because I just simply couldn't filter what I was saying and things, which led to a lot of people kind of hating me. For something I couldn't control because I didn't know what was going on. I could barely focus enough to function on, make that part function. And then as I got older, I learned to deal with it. Like a lot of other parts of my autism, I learned to deal with it because I thought I was just, you know, weird. It was like just part of how my brain worked, and everyone else, just for some reason, that part of their brain functioned normally. I could tell that. I could tell I was different, but I didn't know what the exact difference was. And so when I think actually it was when I was about like 14, 15, we started going to a new therapist guy for dealing with that, and he's the first one to informally diagnose me as autistic because he had plenty of other kids who'd come in for autism and things and noticed I had a lot of the same tells. Like how I mess with my hands and things, how I was, like the way I was sitting and fidgeting in a certain way that most, like, you can tell when someone is autistic, there's a lot of similar motions that we tend to make that we're entirely unconscious of.
Not always, like the higher functioning forms of autism don't always have that.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, the more severe cases of autism, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, so I've been officially diagnosed for the past 2 years as autistic. The downside of having that, knowing my disability, is going into the workforce and everything, is that I can't get disability benefits for it or anything, simply because I'm high functioning enough that my IQ is too high to get anything. I'm too smart for my own good, literally. But yeah, and again, this has been something that's been a part of me since birth, or at the very least, since my uncle dropped me when I was, before I was 1.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was a teenager. This was the first kid he'd ever seen. Be born in the family, because he was the last one born in his.
But somebody should have been supervising him while he held you.
I think they were, and he just stepped out of the room for a second, because they were in the middle of doing a lot of moving stuff around in the other room. So he just kind of took me, went in the other room, and just accidentally I slipped out of his arm or something. I guess I moved away he wasn't expecting.
Well, even so, even with me when Marcus was a baby, I was watched if I held him.
Yeah, it's the one moment they look away, and suddenly it's just baby on the floor.
And crying, and possibly dead.
If you're crying, you're not dead, so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but...
Thankfully.
Okay,
thankfully.
or crying or possibly dead, because the soft spot and everything.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of head trauma as a child, so when I was 4, my dad used to coach for
Hey,
I used to coach at a school.
But how about we move away from sensitive topics now?
Good idea.
I feel like we've gone on about.
This one's funny. This one's funny. This one's funny.
A little too long.
This one's kind of funny. This one's just funny kid stuff.
You said head. Speaking of head trauma, that's not a good lead-in.
It's not. Okay. Head trauma is giving it a little too much credit. It was a collision with my head, but it wasn't anything super hard or anything. It wasn't enough to cause a concussion or anything. I was still fine afterwards, just with a bloody nose. Because, okay, so I was at a softball game. My dad coached at the high school where this game was taking place. One of the guys who, I think it was running cross country at the time, one of the ladies who ran for him, she was playing, with the rest of that team. I'm trying to leave names out of this. And then one of the girls on our team hits a foul ball, pops it straight up. And some wise guy in the back decided to tell the 4-year-old boy heads up, who had no idea. Actually, I wasn't even 4. I was 2 years old. Decided to yell heads up at the child, thinking he'd understand what that meant. And so I look straight up and see a softball hurtling toward my head and make direct contact with the bridge of my nose.
Ew.
Amateur.
So I just get knocked back.
Amateur. You think that's an injury? You think that's an injury? When playing baseball, I got hit by the ball in the nuts 4 times.
How old were you? Also, was this in the same game?
Yes, it was in the same game. The pitcher had a grudge against me.
How old were you?
I was in 2nd grade, so I was.
Keep in mind, I was a 2-year-old boy, and softballs are not small. It was about the size of my head.
Yeah, baseballs are about the same size as softballs.
No, they're not. Trust me.
They're roughly the same size. They might not look like it to a 2-year-old, but they are close to the same size.
You think that's bad? I had something happen to me that could happen in an anime. I was shooting, baskets because we had a free period in gym. So I was just, bouncing a basketball around, shooting baskets. One time when I was shooting, it hit the backboard, came back and hit me in the face.
That happened. That happened to me a dozen times.
I'm just I feel like an anime girl, just blah!
I thought you were gonna say that one scene from I don't remember the name of the anime where she's stuck in the goal, and that one girl's trying to use the rod to help push her out, and her shoe falls off, lands on her face, and she just starts ramming the rod up her butt.
Oh no! Oh no!
And she has like demon eyes.
Yeah.
It's like, die.
What anime is that?
Oh, I can't remember the name, but I've seen it. It's hilarious. It's a funny anime. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's not penetration. She just keeps poking her in the butt.
Are you talking about Nichijou?
Is it?
Is that?
No, I don't think it's Nichijou. It has a different art style.
No, I thought it was the same art style, but it was different, like, character styles. Like, not everyone, like, had a wind up in the back or whatever.
Nichijou is a really weird anime, though. I've seen a
but
little
it's
bit.
So
of
good.
It's a different anime. I've
Anytime
seen
someone says weird anime, I have to first off say, is it JoJo weird? Is it Food Wars weird?
When I hear someone say weird, funny anime, the first thing that comes to my mind is My Bride is a Mermaid.
No, you should be thinking about, like, when it comes to...
That sounds like an anime.
Look, when you think of weird, you should be thinking of, Bobo. Bobo.
You say it just like that.
Bobo.
Sounds like Johnny Bravo had a concussion. Seriously, Haiku, we should just start making a podcast.
We should.
Yeah, just like, you should do that for Patreon. Like, Patreon subscribers are like $5 can get the full uncut version.
If we're a podcast need to have a theme. We're just talking about random shit.
I mean, the Rooster Teeth podcast never has an actual theme to it. They just talk about whatever. It started out as gaming, and now it's just become life. And gaming, and other things.
Looks like a pretty rare fur you got on there.
Oh, you guys ever heard of the repeat episode of Rooster Teeth podcast?
I don't trust this player out in my camp. They've got a red dot on. That means they're hostile. You better just stay away. You can't do anything to me.
Just stay in the camp. It's PvP protected.
Exactly, right?
Meanwhile, that gator next to your foot might be a concern.
No, gators are only in swamps.
Mine's in a swamp.
Oh, mine's in the Great Plains. Oh, he waved at me.
He's waving at you because he can't shoot you.
Okay, I would just
He's trying to bait.
I'm not leaving. I just did a hat flick to him. Even though I'm wearing a garment. I'm watching you. I got my eyes on you.
Hey,
Private eyes.
Yeah.
I'm watching you.
So you know, VIP tickets is not $60. It's closer to $100. I think it's like $80.
Wait, are you talking about for PopCon?
Yeah,
I've already got my tickets. Remember, I bought them last year at Anime Crossroads, but since PopCon didn't happen, that means that your tickets that you purchased would be carried over into the following year.
Convenient.
I really hope that. Well, except is that normal ticket or is that a VIP ticket?
It's a 3-day ticket.
But is it a 3-day VIP ticket or just a regular 3-day ticket?
I think it's just a regular 3D ticket. I'd have to look. Oh, okay, it's you, Delta. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So I just got reminded of something cursed.
I need both you and I need all three of us, you, me, and your brother, to have VIP tickets. That way, we can, kind of stick together as much as possible while they're at the convention. Because VIP, they get to go in the shorter lines.
Oh, you got the express pass. Nice.
I'm not going to spend extra money just to get another VIP. I already got my 3-day pass.
Well, that's why I'm going to buy it for you.
I don't even know if you can, because I've already got the 3-day pass. I don't think I can upgrade it.
You just owe him a commission.
I'm gonna buy it for you. I'm gonna buy it for you, and then you can use that instead of what you have right now. Instead of that coupon you've got right now.
It's not a coupon. I actually purchased my own 3-day pass. It's not a coupon.
I'll purchase 2 VIP. I'll purchase 2 VIP 3-day passes, and I'll give one to you when I see you. And then you just hand it. And then you just hand it. And then you just hand it in.
You don't have to do this, you know.
Yes, he does.
Well, I want us both to be able to stick together at the convention.
He has a compulsion to do it.
I don't want it to be a repeat of last time where I spent 3 hours trying to figure out where the hell you were.
I'm with the science team.
If we're both VIP, then we have a better chance of actually getting to stick together because we'll both be able to go into the shorter lines.
All right. I have a feeling you won't take no for an answer anyway.
Yeah.
Knowing you.
Not take no for an answer.
Knowing you, you never take no for an answer. You insist on everything.
He will give no as an answer, but he will not take no as an answer. Except for when getting a Piet. Nope, can't. I promised.
Yes, you did promise.
I was talking about his, though, not mine. One he was supposed to get, but then Walmart kept fucking him over.
I'm waggling my finger at you right now. Even though you can't see it.
Now he's sorry. You're giving him a stern look and wagging your finger at him. Now he's sorry.
Remember how we were talking about weird kinks earlier?
Oh, thanks, Delta.
Okay, shut up, please. Stop talking.
That's what I was hoping would be the reaction.
Alright, I think I'm going to end the stream right here. So I shall see you all next time, my sweet little devils. Bye-bye.